If you want to have more companies, affluent companies, being available to the students that you're graduating, yes, you have to get bigger.
How do we prevent AI from making human connection in literature obsolete?
The only thing I wish for AI is it doesn't take away from the human connection. When I got into that job, they were like, hey, clean the tables, do these spreadsheets that mean nothing. Okay, all of this is done, everything is done. What can I do? And this is the biggest component about business, is finding a need and filling it. When I went to University of Colorado Boulder, which is a huge, all of the California students go there, I got lost there. However, I never lost track of that yearning to give more. Do you guys know that the School of Business is being closed down tomorrow?
For what?
The Siemens Hall.
Why?
Because of the riot. Like, there's like this whole, like, the riot thing. They're coming in with their demands.
Teamsters?
Last Friday, what do they even call them? Like, protesters, yeah.
What's the protest for?
They're demanding that they change the way the Cal Poly, what is it called? The way the faculty, oh my gosh. So when you're a tenured faculty and you're, wow, I do want to, this is practice, this is great. So the people who have their 401ks based upon different companies, they're invested in companies. There's a few of the companies that they're invested in that are in Israel. And so they're coming in like, hey, change all of that. But the problem that we're facing here is you're asking for 25, 30 plus years of investments being just completely turned into a new company. It doesn't work that way. So they're coming in asking for that to change. They're coming in asking for the way we make our energy. And it's all things that like Cal Poly can't really do right now.
No.
Without completely uprooting not only the amount of students that are able to come, the amount of money that goes into the infrastructure, that goes into the faculty, that goes into the professors, we would have to completely derail some of the faculty. Like, everything would change just to meet their demands. And what they're doing, they came into the building last Friday. So Friday, I'm working Friday at Cal Poly Humboldt, okay, in the business department, which I didn't even realize hosts, Siemens Hall hosts the president, the dean's office, all of the people who make the biggest decisions. And they come in, they're banging their drums, they're banging on my window. There was this, and I don't mean to be like explicit, but there was this guy who fanatically was like screaming at my window. I almost cried. It was frightening. Mind you, I had work to do. I was there to work. And they were like, there was like 40, 50 of them coming in, banging their drums into the building. They go up and totally embody and like they take over all of the space outside of the president's office, which is right above my office. And it was like wild. So I like get out and I'm like, I close the door and I'm like, what am I doing here? What are we doing here? It was crazy. And then the professor was like, we need to go home. They're shutting down the building. So yeah, they're making demands. The president said that they would talk with them on Friday, which is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I graduated class of 2024, and we had a very, very similar protest.
Were you here in 2024?
I was online, so I was able, I was at Cal Poly Humboldt, but I was taking all on prerequisite classes, so I wasn't on campus, but I did see all of that stuff.
So, what the hell was I just? Oh yeah, are the students protesting again?
I don't know who. So I've been there for a while, so I recognize some students, but were all wearing masks, and they were trying to obviously
I'm gonna bleep
cover
that out.
Yeah, it's probably a student protest, but a lot of the professors get behind it too. And
oh yeah, I want to drop some names, but I probably shouldn't because she's one of my professors.
I'll bleep any names that were mentioned here. But anyways,
yeah, let's get started.
That's our opening right there. And we just killed it. So congratulations.
So I don't have to go to work tomorrow.
I didn't know this. This is news to me.
Yeah. Tomorrow, the School of Business, Siemens Hall, will be closed because at 12 o'clock in the quad, there's going to be a meeting between the protesters and the president, and they're going to be talking negotiations that we don't even know that can be made. We don't even know if we can actually give them what they want, which is very disconcerting because if they don't get what they want, they're threatening more retributions, more things. And so, I mean, mind you, we have classes tomorrow. We have people, like all of the classes have to be like taken to another building. And the building that business of like the School of Business embodies is the building in which all of the decisions that happen at Cal Poly are made. So they're infiltrating this entire building. It's scary. And mind you, protesting freedom of speech, totally acceptable. However, when you're demising and you're infiltrating in a day-to-day operation, you're creating this inability for day-to-day functionalities to be able to take place. It's not actually like accepted under the Constitution. There's a loophole where it's if you are creating ruckus in the day-to-day functionalities of economic activity, it's not accepted. So yes, speak your truth in the streets, but if you enter a building, if you completely eradicate the ability for us to be able to teach students to be able to do our day-to-day functionalities, that's actually not accepted. There's a loophole, and they think freedom of speech is just you can do anything. But if you're sitting there with a megaphone screaming at a classroom, let's say, or screaming, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're screaming at someone's house, no, you can get arrested for that. It's not accepted. Freedom of speech is real, and we do embody that. However, there are limitations. And that on Friday that I experienced, it surpassed those limitations.
I agree with you because free to protest, no problem, right?
Absolutely.
But when it comes to the point of you guys disrupting something,
It's disruptive.
that's when there needs to be something like
Barriers.
like something happening, to stop that so everyone else can continue doing what they're doing. So you said if something impacts the day-to-day work of the economy, that's bad. That's like a constitutional no. What do you think about the release of GTA 6 coming later this year?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Because
You're on your own agenda. I don't know what you're
Because
talking
I was
about.
not.
Wait, I'm here for it. Tell me
let me
more, but
cook.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So GTA is one of the biggest franchises in the world.
Okay.
And their most anticipated game, probably of all time, like of any game, anything
Like
coming
game?
out, like a video game. Yeah.
Okay.
GTA 6 is coming out in November, and there's going to be a lot of people taking work off. And it's rumored that the economy's basically going to shut down that day because everybody's just going to be taking the day off and playing that new game. I'm probably going to be one of those people. So, is that illegal?
Well, there's a lot that goes into that. I mean, if their intention was to drop it on, let's say, a work day, which is really not wise for a company based upon you want your company to also impact other economical forward moving things and ventures. I think that's really ill-wise of whatever company it is that's dropping that.
Rockstar.
Okay, Rockstar.
Or Take-Two Interactive.
Take-Two Interactive. It's awesome that they're doing something that so many people want to be a part of. However, doing it on a day where my livelihood is based upon me showing up to my 9 to 5. Mind you, I think the workforce is going to change. It's going to totally change in the future. But right now, as it is, you're telling me that millions of people want to be a part of this, and so they're all gonna take the day off so that they can be a part of this job, which is huge. We want to be a part of a big movement. We want to this is a big movement where we're all feeling like we're collaborative. I have all of these other people that are embodying this. I want to be the first to take place in this. Yes. But if you're going to drop it on a Wednesday morning when I need to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning, that's kind of a big ew on that company. And yes, a lot of people are going to take it as this opportunity to take the day off. But however, why would you do that? If people, and again, this is the premise of life in and of itself in business, we want to have passion for our work. I actually day to day show up with a passion to be there. I love it. It enriches me. I get very, very distraught when something gets in the way. I'm gosh darn it. Now I have to talk to my boss and say, hey, I have to come in later, or hey, can't come in today, which doesn't happen very often, but that distraughts me. It puts me in a very uncomfortable place because this is a thing that I have passion for. I actually truly care about the students that I enrich. Like, I care about them. And if you get in my way of doing that because of another passion of mine, like, I have this thing going on, but I make sure that it embodies it and I'm not able to, like, this takes place over this and I have to, like, cut this to get this. Like, no. We have to coincide together. So if they were wise, they would drop it on a Saturday morning when we're all chilling in our bed and, like, doing our thing. Like, what day are they dropping it on?
Tuesday or Thursday.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
Why would they do that? Like, what is it? What's
that's-
the underscore there? Like, they obviously have a hierarchy. Like,
Yeah.
there's a thing there.
That's
and I would
their,
be leery of that.
Yeah, that's their release window for, like, anything that comes out for, like, their release schedule, basically. It's either Tuesday or Thursday.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, and it was originally coming out in May of this year.
Okay.
Or originally it was rumored fall, or not rumored. It was originally announced fall 2025.
Okay.
Gets delayed till May 26th of this year.
Okay.
Now it's November 19th of this year.
Okay.
So I think their move to drop it instead of in the summer and into the winter is so families and stuff can get it for their kids for Christmas or something like that.
Is it for children?
No, this game. Okay, so we are talking about video games, so I'm going to redirect and refocus us
No, but
here.
I did like that. That was very interesting.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
let's
the rock star needs to think about that.
They're not.
Saturdays would be-
They're not.
let's go for the background here and get into our podcast.
Yeah. Let's actually.
Wait, I
start
liked
this
not
thing,
talking
yeah.
about me for a second.
But yeah, you were talking about loving your job. A lot of people don't have that luxury. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I can. God, I don't even know where it stems from. It's just, so when I first got the job, I was a student worker. So, like, we're students and it's like, oh my gosh, I need to get a job. Like, no, typical jobs, we don't have the hours to, like, infiltrate, like, with our class schedule. And I got this job at the School of Business. Awesome job. And mind you, when I got into that job, they were like, hey, clean the tables, do these spreadsheets that mean nothing. We really don't need them, but we just need to keep you busy. We just really need someone in the office. It's basically what it was. And I was like, okay, but can't do homework, but okay. And I was like, no, okay. All of this is done. Everything is done. What can I do? And this is the biggest component about business, is finding a need and filling it. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm being given this opportunity to work with the School of Business. The School of Business.
Huge.
So big. And I felt this huge sense of, like, worthiness. And I was like, all right, what can I do to help the School of Business? Okay, what is the School of Business lacking? Okay, we're lacking retention. We're lacking the ability to get new students. How can I make it feel modern? How can I make it feel like we're up with the times? And actually, I will stand by this. The curriculum, I love it. I love the professors. I love what they're teaching us. I love their classes. I love this small feel. I love that I can go into office or Nancy Visner's office and talk with them. I love that Nancy is included in the Startup Humboldt competition here in Humboldt County. And it made me feel a sense of we need to do more. So I was like, okay, what can I do more? And I was like, well, I'm already in Nancy Visner's classes. I'm going to go and I'm going to take pictures of the local collaborators with the local businesses that are coming into the classes to give speeches for the student population. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start doing the Instagram. I was like, okay, I'm losing my headphones. Okay, I'm just going to put them on fully. I just started finding a way to make what was given to me as a business or as a career opportunity and making it my own. So
I think that's awesome.
It is awesome.
I wanna say that I really like what you're doing with the social media.
Yeah.
The student-led
having
scavenger
so
hunt.
much
I think
fun.
that's a great idea, and I think going back to kind of modernizing our School of Business and making it attractive for new students. I think it adds to that.
Absolutely.
Furthermore, I think a lot of businesses just have people doing busy work, just Excel sheets and looking at data.
It's
and
not worthwhile.
And I, and even with organizations that I've worked with, I think that they do way too much time into data analysis and they don't do enough time with client acquisition. Client acquisition with a school business is students. So I think that for your position, if I was like, okay, we hired this person, they're working for the School of Business, my first thing would be like, okay, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that we have more enrollment next fall.
Yes.
And so if that,
Students.
and so if putting together this spreadsheet or doing this assignment doesn't contribute to getting more enrollments next fall, then I'm like, what are we doing here? And in the current state that this school is in, that's what they need is enrollment. And so, when you're canceling classes because you don't have enrollment, it's a sign that you need to, pick it up. And I think that you representing the social media platform does that. It does take it to the next level and make it more attractive to students. So I want to talk more about the School of Business because that is something that the three of us all share, right? We are all part of that, and it's a very important organization because it ultimately inspires and creates the next generation of entrepreneurs and professionals in Humboldt County. Through your education, do you feel like Humboldt County is somewhere that you can grow and prosper and build a career?
Absolutely. And that's just like the wonderful thing about being at Cal Poly School of Business here in Humboldt is there's this infrastructure where the School of Business is collaborating with the local businesses here. Mind you, I do think that if someone comes here and wants to earn a degree in the business administration department and then go and let's say work for Google or Amazon or some big company, I think you can do that. I do. I believe in you. However, if you wish to give back to the local community, this is the most richest and most right place you can do it. Being so, here at the School of Business, there's this huge collaboration between the local economy and our school where we're collaborating. All of these businesses are coming forth saying, hey, we'll offer internships to the School of Business students. Will pay you. They don't pay you. The School of Business will pay you. It's this whole new initiative. And it's a really wonderful, beautiful thing. And we're just collaborating so much. And being myself, coming from the place of being a non-traditional student, I feel ripe to start something here. I feel like I've got the networks. If School of Business students actually take it very seriously and come in here and go, hey, look at the SBDC, look at the Startup Humboldt competition, which we promote full-heartedly. I've written post and post. I just actually recently interviewed who is a School of Business student. Actually, he's not a School of Business student. He has a minor in business, but he has been one that has been accepted in the Startup Humboldt competition, which is amazing.
What's his business?
Oh, we don't want to talk. It's I just interviewed him. It's he is doing something with the Yurok tribe. He would like to bring tribal food industries and things, and he would like to start a company where it brings them making food to be able to distribute to the co-ops and to the wild berries.
That's really cool.
But coming from the Yurok tribe, which is super amazing and is such a bedrock of what our local community is. And so that's awesome. And I did just interview him yesterday, and I'm super, super proud of him for being a part of the competition. But circling back to your question, yes, I do think so. I do think the School of Business has everything it takes to create a bedrock, a foundation for students to move forward in their career if people take it seriously. And that's something that I can't stress enough to students, is that sometimes we go in there and we're just like, we don't know what we're doing, we don't know where we are, and we're just like taking this because we think it's where we want to go. I would not stress enough actually taking it very seriously, using the tools that are being given to you. There are massive buttloads of tools that are being given to you day to day. Every class you go to, the enrichment that's being given to you and the advice that's being just infiltrated into your being, you could take that and start something. You could go somewhere. You could go start I don't want to just stress startup companies because that's a huge thing in Humboldt County is we're all we just start something. And yes, that is very, very important. But also if you want to go contribute to a big company, you have what it takes. This business program gives you the tools that it takes to actually go and be a part of something that's already been established and just put yourself into it. It's both. We offer both. We offer the ability to start something and the ability to have the knowledge to be able to enmesh yourself into something that's already been established. I do not, and I cannot stress that enough. And I think that's something that being, again, a non-traditional student that has been through the world, I've been in every state in this whole entire country besides Hawaii,
Really?
which sucks. Yes, I've never been to Hawaii.
wow.
I don't want to talk about it.
You'll make it happen.
Yeah.
I know, someday.
You'll make it there at some
But
point.
yeah, and like with my own movement and with my own things, it has been the biggest catalyst. And I don't know if it's just because of my background and starting as a mother of two and like going back to school, or if it's just what the business program offers. It's just like giving me the grit. It's giving me the knowledge. And I do think that this program will and is allowing for students to graduate with the tools they need to succeed beyond.
I think one of my biggest regrets in school is not taking advantage of that earlier.
I'm so glad you're mentioning
because
that. Yes.
I only really started like getting serious about networking my senior year.
Yeah.
So I kind of basically wasted away 3 years of not doing anything but my homework.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think you still can start really whenever and still make a huge impact.
Huge.
Like I started my fall semester my senior year, boom, found somebody who knew somebody who got me in contact with Startup Humboldt.
Right.
And then boom, met you.
Network.
And we started the podcast, met everybody here, and then met more people from them. So
networking is so big.
Yeah.
I didn't like when I was young. Oh, okay. I'm actually going to totally take that and refract that. Like, I actually was a huge networker back in high school. Can I just like touch on that real quick?
let's do your background. Yeah.
Okay, I would love that real quick. So when I was in high school, didn't know what the heck I was doing. We're just doing our thing, getting good grades, wanting to get good grades. And then I had this opportunity. I turned 16 and I started like I just like was like, you know what? I'm not going to be this conserved child anymore. I grew up in a Mormon background where we were very conservative. And I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I got an opportunity to work for a promotion company that promoted Red Rocks shows. I don't know if you know anything about Red Rocks back in Denver. Huge, like think Mumford and Sons, think Diplo, think heavy metal people, any big artist. It's a musician thing. So any artist that you can think about, and music is a big part of like my personal life. I love music, but that's nothing to do with my business life. And I got this opportunity to promote. So I realized that I was good at business and I was good at networking. And networking is the biggest component to business ever. You can know every business concept. You can know about this and that and gross profit profit. You know what I'm talking about. I just had the test. You know what I'm talking about. Net profit and gross profit margins. You can know about all of that, which is very incredibly important. But the biggest, and you all know this because you're podcasters and you have to network in order to be able to get your people in here. Networking is the biggest thing you can do. And what does it take to network? It takes being a person. It takes being able to look someone in the eyes and be like, hey, who are you? What are you doing? Going to mixers, huge, big thing, huge. But I mean, gosh, the business program is having your foundation, having everything that it takes to do the business, but being a person and being able to communicate and collaborate and talk about what you're doing. Hey, how can I help you? What is it that you're doing right now? Is something that you're doing that can help me, or is something that I'm doing that can help you? Very, very important. So I don't know. Networking is the biggest thing. I would say just being a person is the biggest component of being a business student, of being a business entrepreneur, of being a business owner, of being a podcast host. You have to bring your people in here, you know.
Totally. Yeah. So early in your life, you discover you have this skill, this networking skill.
I do.
Did that inspire you to eventually study business?
It did, yeah.
Okay, and you originally studied business at the University of Colorado.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that experience.
Sure. So in high school, I was a part of the DECA program, which is a program that helps high school students get ready for the business world. I actually got to go to New York in the DECA program. Oh my gosh, I did so much. I had to go to competitions.
Hello, everybody. I'm Luke Kennedy, building manager at Startup Humboldt. Behind the Redwood curtain is recorded and produced at Startup Humboldt. Startup Humboldt is a co-working space mentorship hub for entrepreneurs building real businesses here on the North Coast. You can learn more at startuphumboldt.com.
I didn't know you
Yes.
went to you
University
weren't
of
born
Colorado
here.
Boulder.
Yeah. Were you born here?
I was not.
Oh,
I've only been here for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So continue on.
Sure. So back in high school, I did the DECA program, which is a business club. And in that club, they teach you business concepts. You actually have to do a class in high school to be able to be a part of the club. And then you also compete. So we go to these big events with all of the local schools. There's like, I don't know, like 10,000 of us. There was a lot of us. There was so many. And what we do is we role play. So they give us, like, you have 10 minutes, you get a role play, you get like a business thing, you have to like pitch your thing, you have to go in front of judges. And I was able with my group to go to New York, which was super radical. And like, so my senior year of high school, I got to go to New York. I got to tour the Google business. Like they were on Segways and these pods. Their food was amazing.
They have their own university, basically.
It was like, what? Like,
Google's food is the best.
like
or was.
what?
Was
I
the
don't know
best.
about what it is now. Back, mind you, that was back in 2013. So give me a little slack. But then that was a big thing for me, and a big movement towards me going to the School of Business at University of Colorado Boulder. And so I entered the School of Business. I was going to have a minor in journalism because writing was always a big component of my being, hence why I've been, And I've always been a poet. I'm like this like artistic thing with like the side of business and wanting to create something in the world. But like as life is and as business is and how the economy is, it's always changing. So after my freshman year at the university, things shifted in my life, and I became a mom at a very, very young age. And so I completely changed the whole trajectory of my life. I became a mom, full-time mom, traditional mom. I decided to be a stay-at-home mom. I got married. I did all the things. However, I never lost track of that yearning to give more. I wanted to give more. And mind you, I give more to my kids. I go above and beyond. We were a traveling family. So when I said I've been to every state in the country, I mean that full-heartedly with my children. So we'd go to all the business museums. We'd go to the museum. I didn't mean business museums, but we would do everything that we could to infiltrate them into the economy that was there, that was for families to come. And I enriched them in all of the ways that I could. However, this yearning inside of me never persisted. It never would go away. And so coming back to my book, a big thing that I would do for my kids is read to them every night. And reading and literacy is such a big component into what creates a child. It's what creates you who you are. The skills to having words read to you. If you read a book to your child every day, by the end of the year, there's a million vocabularies, like a million words that they have embodied and have consumed. It's a huge component to their success, not only in school, but in business, in life, in everything that they do in life. And I realized this at a very young age. And so we're in Burlington, Vermont, and I'm walking down Lake Champlain, which is this beautiful nature trail on this lake in Vermont. If you know anything about Vermont, they have all 4 seasons. They've got the foliage. They've got everything. It's so beautiful. And so I'm walking them. Mind you, I'm a family who only has one car. We're a traveling family. We have a van and a car. So when my husband would go off to work, we would be left to our own devices. And hey, we want to go for a walk. We want to go get some books. We have no books. We're out of books. We can't get to the library. So what do we rely on? We rely on the free little libraries. And if you know anything about the free little libraries, they're a foundation where all around the world, they create these little libraries where people can come and exchange books. However, something that I noticed within all of these little libraries was a lack of children's books. And I mean this. I've been all over the country, in every little library that I've been to. You can go do it on your own. Go look at the free little libraries. You're not going to find a children's book. And if you do, it's going to be a book that's probably not one that you really want to read. It's going to be one from very long ago. There's just a huge lack. And so 6 years ago, I'm in Vermont, Burlington, Vermont, and I made this promise to myself that I will write a book one day. I don't know where it came from. It was a silent promise to myself, a silent promise to my kids, maybe, a silent promise to the world. I don't know. But I told myself that I will write a book one day and I will fill these libraries with this book. Not to sell the book, one day maybe, but I want to give this book. And it was a gift, it was an offering. 6 years go by, I moved to Humboldt County. A lot changes, a lot changes, a lot changes. We don't need to get into the changes, but I decided to become an independent woman underneath the patriarchy that I've been a part of for a very, very long time. And I decided I'm going to go back to school. I decided I'm going to go to business, and I decided I'm going to finally finish and start what I start what I started, or finish what I started, excuse me. And I'm in McKinleyville, and I'm driving by one of the free little libraries with a friend, a dear, dear friend. And I was like, you guys want to know something? 7 years ago, I told myself I was going to write a book and fill those one day. And they were like, well, why don't you just do it? I was like, I don't know. And they're like, you should just do it. And I was like, I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to do it. And this is the spark that happens with companies and businesses. It just comes to you. And I felt the encouragement, right?
Yeah, that's literally how this podcast started. I was like, one day I was with my friend in his room. I was like, dude, what if I started a podcast? He's like, bro, try it. And I was like, all right.
Right?
Yeah, and then literally
Right?
2 months later, we started it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay, let me finish this then.
Yeah, no,
exactly
go ahead.
right.
Yeah,
No. You're exactly right. I kid you not. So that night I go home and mind you, I'm a stay-at-home mom at this time. I'm doing all, think about it. Think about what a stay-at-home mom does. Okay. So I'm cooking a ribeye steak on a skillet, and I put a slab of butter on the skillet, and I'm like, butter, what does butter do? And then I have this little image in my head of an anatomical slab of butter, a cube of butter with arms and legs hanging over the counter. And he has this big dream of making something happen for himself. And what the heck does butter do? Oh, actually, butter does a lot. Butter is what makes your cake moist. It's what makes your steak moist. It's what creates this cohesion between all the ingredients that makes any kind of pastry you want to eat.
Keeps my eggs from sticking to the pan.
Absolutely. Exactly. It does so much. However, what does eggs do? What does flour do? What does sugar do? What does vanilla do? What does salt do? Okay, so we have all these ingredients, right? Are we all the same? No, we're incredibly different. However, are we all necessary for the whole? If we're making a cake, are we all necessary? Yes. So he finds himself in this kitchen, and he's not knowing where he belongs. He doesn't know who he is. And he's just wow, but I have this big dream. I have this big goal, but I don't know who the heck I am right now. And he looks around the room and he sees flour, sugar, and eggs dancing, and they're all doing their thing. And he's like, wow, they all know where they belong. This is, I promise you, it's a metaphor for life. It's a metaphor for business. And it's a metaphor for students. We look around and we see all these people being successful. You started your podcast. You just had this dream. You had this wonderful random, this spark, and you did it. And that would make someone feel really insecure. Look at what he did. However, you have this podcast and you bring in all these people in. So it's the same thing as butter. So he looks around, he's seeing all these people doing their things. And he's like, I don't know where I belong. But then he's like, you know what? I'm not going to fear anymore. And this is everything in life, not just in business, not just in all across the board. You have to be brave. You go out there and you network. And it's so my heart beats out of my chest when I network. It beats out of my chest. But you have to go out there, put yourself out there, tell the world what you're doing, tell the world what you have to offer, and then guess what? You're going to start collaborating. You're going to start meeting this person who meets you to this person, who connects you to this person, and then all of a sudden a chance happens. And then of course in my book, he's got this opportunity. A cake-off is announced. And then in that cake-off, he gets all of these people together. He gets flour, sugar, carrots, all the things that make a cake what it is. And they get together, they bake this cake, they each add a piece of themselves, and it's just this huge metaphor for life, a huge metaphor for everything in business and everything in life. In and of itself, we're all individuals. We're all so different, so different. You're different than me, I'm different from you. We're all so different. However, we all matter, and we all have something to offer, and we're all necessary. I can't bake this cake without you and without you and without flour and sugar and eggs. And although you're super different from me, I can't make my cake without you and I need you. And that's just how it goes. And so that's what the story is. And that's like the embodiment of what I am doing right now. And what's so funny is that we can get super statistical with it. We can get very financial and we can be accountants with it. And it's all the same thing. We all need each other. We all need each other so much. And your value brings so much value to me and vice versa. So I don't know.
That's a really sweet story. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check out this book after
Yeah.
we're done.
How many have you given away?
So, here's the thing. So I just officially got this ready to print 3 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was a long haul. It was a long journey, very long, a lot of editing, so much editing. I hired my beautiful, wonderful illustrator, and we had a lot to go through. And even with just the words in and of itself, like I had a lot of personal editing to do, but it's finally ready. I got it printed locally here at the Bug Press, and I got 5 copies just to see what it looked like. There was some mistakes. I just literally picked up another 5 copies. I have a goal, and I'm getting some funding. I'm putting my own funding into it. I would like to get 500 copies printed to start being able to read to the libraries here. I'm in contact with who's the director of the libraries here. Yeah, she's so awesome. I love her. She's so great. And so I want to do readings, but I don't want to do the readings until I have my copies printed, because I would love so much full-heartedly to be able to give my copies away for free. Again, one day this will be a for-profit thing. It's just the beginning. So this is the thing. Can I tell you guys something real quick?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the fires that just took place? The Arcata fires? Big thing, huge thing, a lot of infrastructure, a lot of money down people's homes, people's livelihoods. The lady who owned what shop was it? That like Hinduish shop. It was her whole livelihood, and her apartment was upstairs. So devastating. Kid you not. And this is the thing about life or business or whatever you want to say. That day, it was a Saturday. That Saturday morning, I had just started my GoFundMe. Because I wanted to get 500 copies printed, and like I was investing my own money, and I wasn't fully ready to I've talked to people about actually printing this the correct and traditional way, and it's just not the mission right now. It's not the mission. So that morning, I started my GoFundMe, and then the fires happened. And mind you, so think about it. People are losing their homes. People are losing their businesses. And I was like, think about how many GoFundMes are about to get started.
The timing's not there.
Timing. Yeah. Oh my
timing is
gosh.
Everything. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I like walked down to the fires too. I walked down and I was looking, I was like, I was just about to ask, and like, not like, and that's the weird thing about like maybe nonprofits and like asking for money. It's a very weird venture. It's maybe uncomfortable. It's a little uncomfortable. Needs to happen because there's actually a lot of people that need to be reached with this, but we do what we have to do. And I realized in that moment, there's a need so much bigger than my own. Like people are losing their homes right now. Like I can't launch this. So as in business, we pivot. And so what I ended up doing to keep the movement going is I got a lot of my mama friends, a lot of like local friends and businesses to donate just normal children's books. Just children's books that have already been printed. I slapped my label in them, put them in all the free little libraries as a way to continue the movement, as a way to like showcase, hey, we're not giving up here. It's just a break in the process that we're going through. And that's something that like that's an advice that can be given to anyone is like sometimes life changes. However, the goal never changes. The hierarchy of like what you're doing is not going away. However, the path in which you get there might change, and we have to change things. We have to collaborate with other people. We have to come up with new innovative ideas. So yeah, things change all the time, but don't give up. Things change, might look a little different, but we're still getting there.
A lot of folks that are in college or university just go through the motions. They just clock in, clock out, get their homework done, take the exam, and then off to summer vacation, right?
Yeah.
You have a very different approach, and it reminds me of my approach to school was chase every opportunity and be hungry, be
starving,
and I'll tell you what, and I talked about this on the first podcast. I got my job here from going to Chamber of Commerce mixers. I got the SBDC summer internship, but there's like 15 other interns, right?
Right.
So I meet Will, and this is right before the internship is started.
Shout out, Will.
Shout out, Will.
Will.
That's my boss.
He's going to be a part of our advisory board. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He's doing it? Good.
He said yes,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Thank you. Will.
Yeah. So he was at a mixer. We start chatting. He comes to school events. I'm like, yeah, you're a guest speaker. And I think he remembers me because I was in accounting, and he knows that's in demand. So
I wish I was better at that. I'm not.
yeah, and
I'm
so
struggling.
yeah, and so I just start talking to him, and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing the internship, and he's like, oh, you should intern for me, like as opposed to the greater NorCal SBDC, because all the interns get sent to different centers across Northern California. I get placed in the North Coast here in Humboldt because I had Alicia here, and I was like, all right, I have an internship, and so I take the internship. I start working with Will. The person who was in my job previously found another job somewhere, and the position opens up. I'm interning for 4 weeks. I have 4 more weeks on my internship. Will's like, "You're training you have 2 weeks to train before she leaves." And then and I was like, "All right." And so one thing led to another, but I would have never gotten a job here if I didn't A, apply and take the internship, and B, go to mixers and meet Will. That being said, I went to maybe 20 mixers between my junior and senior year here at Cal Poly Humboldt. I went to about 20. Only one. It took one to get the job offer. So the takeaway from that I share with people is you have to go to all 20 and to just get the one that's going to get you the job.
You have to do the legwork.
Yeah.
You have to.
And I see you at, the chambers, you go to the rotaries. I see you doing all the extracurriculars. You're not just going through the motions. You're doing the extra credit. Yeah. And the extra credit in college isn't just bonus points on your grade card.
Oh, I don't even think I've gotten any extra credit. Wait, what?
Excuse me. It's employment. It's opportunities. The extra credit in college is what's going to get you paid.
Yeah.
So I think it's really great that you do that. And I had that note from your previous, what you were saying previously, and I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. And thank you and I applaud you for also doing that. It's not easy.
It's not.
It's not easy. You have to put yourself out there. You really have to ground yourself and realize, like, hey, I need more. I want more. I'm going to get more. I want to have a career. I want to have something that I'm working towards. And yeah, it's going to take a lot out of me probably. Like, I'm going to really have to push. Would I rather go home and sit down and drink my tea and read my book or watch my TV show or play my video games? Yes, of course I would. However, my future and the future of this economic development that we're doing and the future of the world and just the future, like, do I want to be a part of it or do I want to be a witness to it? Do I want to be a part of the future or do I want to bear witness to it? And bygones and by all means, I would love to be a part of it.
I think you are a part of it.
And as are you. And like what it takes is getting in there and doing the hard thing. People have a really hard time doing the hard stuff and putting yourself in a position where there's pressure. This is pressure. Being even on this podcast was so much pressure for me.
Really?
Pressure.
It's not anymore.
I'm here now, so we're just going through it. But beforehand, telling you what, pressure.
You got into a flow state in the beginning. I'm like, that's it. That's what we started.
You got a good flow going now.
Thank you guys so much.
You're crushing it. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys are amazing. You make it
thank you.
easy.
I appreciate that. But like you were saying, being a pioneer is not easy. How did we get all the roads built going from this Bay Area up here?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Gosh, someone did it, and they were the most phenomenal people.
So by people like us going out there and doing all the dirty work, it's going to make it easier for other people to build careers and build jobs out here. So I think we're really just at the beginning of what is truly going to be the next Humboldt County. And the last few podcasts, everyone's been saying, the cannabis industry, the timber industry, fisheries industry was what was driving the economy. And now that we're in this like downtime, this valley, the next thing is probably the Startup Humboldt competition, which I stand behind. And I was telling them, if you read between the lines of the cannabis industry, the timber industry, and the fisheries industry that have all collapsed, if in between those lines is entrepreneurship. So if we shine a light on entrepreneurship, boom, that's our next rise. Yeah.
We have this like beautiful little town here, like Arcata, Eureka. We have all like the infrastructure's already there. We have this beautiful plaza where there's all of these like already made buildings. However, a lot of them are empty. And a lot of them have a lot of turnover rate where the companies or the businesses are not able to hold steady to what it is. And I'm very new here, and this is just my personal perspective. I think a lot of the backlash that is taking place is maybe a lack of acceptance of the history here. Again, I wasn't here when the marijuana industry was what it was back in its heyday. However, I accept what it was because if I don't accept it, then I'm denying history. I mean, that is what happened, and that is what took place. And mind you, I don't have this stance or that stance. However, the economy was booming then, and every building here was accompanied or like it had a business that was totally thriving. And however, right now we're going through the flux, like you mentioned, and something that I have noticed is a turn of eye, like a blind eye to the history. And no, we're just here as Humboldt. Cal Poly is the only thing. Cal Poly is huge. If there can be an integration, mind you, there are professors who totally accept the history of what it is, and that's fine. I think moving forward, Startup Humboldt is really big, and I do think small business operations are really huge, but the biggest component is having people who are willing and able to come in and spend money in them. And what does it mean in this environment to be able to come and spend money is being able to make money. So there needs to be jobs. And like Cal Poly is one of the biggest employers here in here in Humboldt County.
That's funny.
Let me get my terminology correct.
That's like exactly what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Is like Cal Poly is a huge employer.
Huge.
And in order to get more employees, you need more revenue. In order to get more revenue for a school like Cal Poly Humboldt, you need more students. So ultimately, if you want more money and more jobs in Humboldt County, you need more students at Cal Poly Humboldt.
We're trying.
And so that brings me to your story. What inspired you to finish and continue your higher education at Cal Poly Humboldt? Okay. What brought you to the area?
Okay, well, this isn't going to give you the answer you're wanting because it's not for the reasons that you were wanting, but I will touch on that. What a huge service it has been for me to go to Cal Poly. Like, Cal Poly has been the biggest, and I don't mean to bring in things, but the biggest blessing that I could have ever had. I mean, gosh, I have done the most in my life. I mean, I've done a lot, but the most in terms of my independence, the most in terms of me learning how the world works, me learning how the world of business works and how the economy works, me just learning how to network. Cal Poly has done all of that for me. What brought me to Cal Poly is not for the reasons that you
My reason
think.
is not very good either.
Yeah.
Just so you know, my reason is because I couldn't make rent at Cal State East Bay.
I see.
So yeah,
Wait, you went to East Bay?
No, I was one of I visited there, and then I realized that I wasn't gonna be able to afford rent because I was severely broke when I was in school.
Got it.
So I went to Humboldt because they had cheaper rent than the other schools in California.
Sure.
I went to Humboldt because I got rejected from UC Santa Cruz.
Oh, gosh, we're not making Humboldt sound really good right now. Okay, so I went to Humboldt because it was here and it was available. And I was like, look at this awesome school immersed in the Redwoods. The campus is so freaking cool. Mm-hmm. When I went to University of Colorado Boulder, which is a huge, all of the California students go there. All 25,000 if plus people, 50 frats, 45 sororities, huge school, big school. I mean, I was in Kappa Alpha Theta, like cool school, great school. I don't even talk about the scene there. However, I got lost there. And like a lot of the students there have no personal identity. All of my friends in this, please hope don't.
You want
They
me to bleep
just
this out?
no.
Okay.
But they just end up working for a big company and like don't have any self-identity and don't have anything that they started for themselves, which could be great if you want to go work for a big corporation. If you want to go make your mark on, Amazon that has already been made and has already made their mark in the world, and if you want to go work for, I don't know, NVIDIA, or which are great if you want to make money. If your entire essence in life is to just go make a for-profit thing, you're gonna go do your 9 to 5. You're gonna go home, go party, do your thing, go back to bed, and wake up and do the next thing the next day. And you're gonna go to festivals on the weekend. If that's your lifestyle, by all means, go to a big school. However, if you have something more you want to offer from your personal identity, from your personal standpoint, you want to start something from your own fruition, I could not advocate for Humboldt enough. I could not. Because when I was going to CU Boulder, I was just going to go to New York. I was going to go work for some big company. However, my life was like, nope. You need something more individualistic, and you're going to go find it, and you're going to take this huge detour in order to get there. And I was like, okay. Ended up in Humboldt. Mind you, there was like a little plan for Humboldt in the backworks, but this is where it was. And then here we go, and having this huge, amazing school. Like, I don't know. It was just like, if you could go somewhere where they enrich the person you are and not the person you are in the cog of things and not the person you are in the whole. Mind you, the whole matters so full-heartedly. We, again, back to the book, we all matter to make the big cake go round. Like, we want to share a cake with everyone. We want to bake the cake in the way that we want to make it so that it's like a really yummy cake and delicious and moist and has the frosting and all of the things on top. But if it weren't for that, like if it weren't for the individuality that CSU offers, like I wouldn't be who I am today. I would be just someone trying to go work for Google or someone who's trying to go work for an advertising agency. I would have no individuality. This has created my individuality.
I feel the same way. I was, pushed into the accounting CPA route my entire life, and that usually involves doing taxes for, a rather large company, because that's where the money is. So it's this generic track.
But that's also okay, though.
That's okay. I know a lot of my classmates that did that. They're doing great, and
So
they
awesome.
love it. It works for them.
Good.
I quickly discovered that, it wasn't for me. I'm a much different person than my father, who, really pushed me to go down that route. But I discovered I was a different person than what I envisioned. I discovered my identity.
Yeah.
And through that, I discovered that taxes weren't for me. I also did 2 tax seasons, and they were brutal.
Rough.
Tax, for some people, taxes is great.
Some people love the numbers.
Some people love it.
I applaud them so much. God, thank God for those people.
Yeah.
Thank goodness that there are people that want to crunch numbers every day and they relish it.
Shout out accountants.
Yes. Shout out to all the finance majors and
Yeah.
accounting majors. Gosh, I applaud you so much.
Yeah,
They're what makes the world go round.
Totally.
Like
They
you
do.
were saying.
Oh, we
Yeah.
can't. I can do anything without them. We can't do anything without them.
It wasn't for me though. It was
And that's okay.
And so I pivoted, and I changed my career path, and I really enjoy what I do, comparatively to taxes. And so but it required me to discover myself, and it required me to find identity, and that's something that Cal Poly Humboldt allowed me to do. So if you are somebody that, I don't know, you just feel lost, you feel like you're a cog in the machine, you feel like you're just another number, and you want to try something different, you want to try something original, you want to try something new, you want to be unique, come to Cal Poly Humboldt. You'll discover yourself, you'll find identity, and you will make something original, you'll make something new out of yourself.
And come down to your local SBDC.
Yes. No, truly, you guys were huge. The first start of Humboldt competition, oh my goodness. It was my first time going to a mixer, my first time going to anything like that, and I swear my brain was... and like with the people and like the people who were speaking and the advice that was given and the business advice that was given. I was like so inspired, so inspired. You guys know SK Lee as well.
We just had her on the pod.
I know.
Yeah.
I just saw today. I
Yeah.
wrote an article on her back in over winter break. I was like, okay, so she was at your guys' leadership group or your
Yeah.
leadership, and it was weird. I didn't get to go to that one. There was reasons that like prohibited me from going. And I saw this picture of her and the old president of the university. I can't recall his name.
Spagna,
Yeah. And I was like, who is she? For some reason, I was just like, who is she? And I like reached out to the president. Like I was like on full like let's figure this out.
Why not?
Do you know the president, by the way?
I mean,
Carvajal?
Yeah,
ish.
the new one.
Oh, the new one. Yeah, he's great.
Okay, all right. Can you put in a good word for us? We want him on the podcast.
I think he would love that. I think he would really love. I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
He's about to go in the quad tomorrow and talk to the.
Yeah, we had Dr. Keith Flamer, president of CR, on the pod a few months back, and that one was great. We talked about what it would look like if Cal Poly Humboldt and College of the Redwoods merged. So maybe we could touch back on that with Carvajal is his name?
Is
Carvajal,
that, wait,
yeah.
Can I actually be a little like person to like?
Go for it.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so I'm doing like cold calls right now to students that are like potential incoming students who have applied but have not yet accepted. A lot of the students will opt for going to junior college because it's free for the first 2 years if you're a local student.
I did that.
Right. So I don't know if if you can merge in a way that would still allow for the first 2 years to be free. It's very, very important for students, especially maybe those who are of low income status rates. And I think our biggest push is reaching other counties, reaching other states, really embodying what Humboldt County is, being that we're here in the midst of the Redwoods, and it's not only just beautiful, but if we get more students, we'll be more influential in the terms of societal norms. And what I mean by that is like networking, and I hate to say events that people can go to and things that are exciting and things to look forward to. I think Humboldt County could really do it. We just really have to keep up with the economy, have to keep all of the businesses working. We do not want this to become a ghost town, because if this becomes a ghost town, we will not have a community and we will not have a university and we will not have people wanting to come here. We have to keep the economy going, and that is why I've been doing this collaboration with the School of Business with the scavenger hunt. What I'm trying to do is illuminate the businesses that we have here locally. Like, hey, did you know that we had an Italian restaurant, Venetia, that's like new in the square? Did you know that? Oh, did you know that we had this coffee shop? Did you know that we had this cool bead shop? This bead shop really needs people to come in and make beads. Did you know that we had this and that and that and this? And that's basically what I'm illuminating right now through the scavenger hunt and through this collaboration. So I don't know. Hopefully it'll make an impact. I think it is so far, but
Yeah, you're mentioning how like beneficial it is to have something like Cal Poly up here.
It's
And
huge.
you were talking to us before the pod how you went to school when you were 18, 19, right? And then you left. So what is the specific competitive advantage a returning student parent has over a traditional 18-year-old in today's economy?
Oh, I talked about this question in my head. Yes, I feel both. I feel like I have a competitive advantage, and I also feel like I'm at a disadvantage. The disadvantage to start with would be I'm older, and it's harder for me to make connections with the students. It's harder for me to make friends. I come with history. I have a rich history. I have a book I've already written. I already have a mission that I want. Like I already know kind of the direction I'm going in. Kind of. Like, mind you, we pivot, but this is overarching, always going to happen. Versus the advantage would be just that, like, I feel like I know what I'm doing and I'm able to take advantage of the opportunity. Like, whereas some students go in there and they're just making the grades, like you mentioned, and they're just going to class because they need to have the attendance grade. However, I'm seeing this opportunity. How can I do this? How can I make a bigger and a more outstanding change. I'm thinking higher than maybe what a first year student would. And so it's both an advantage and disadvantage, and it's serving me and it's both disserving me at the same time. It's very, very hard coming back. It's very hard. Just being around all of these students who are in the very beginning of their life, right? Like they're the beginning of their future career, the very beginning of their adulthood. However, I'm midway through, and so it's just very different. I'm very grateful. I think when I was 18, I did have a purpose then, but I wasn't like cemented. If I could go back, would I change things? Maybe I would, do a little differently. But I'm kind of glad to be where I am right now, because I just feel like, having this opportunity to work with the school business and be a student, like in school, it's just, I don't know, it's enriching. And I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know if it's bad or good. It's both. It's absolutely both. So your question was, is there an advantage?
Competitive advantage, yeah.
Probably a little bit. And it's only because I have a more richer history. I've got 10 years under my belt of life. I already have 2 children of my own, and I've raised kids. So I look at you like a child, and I'm like, hey, figure it out. Like, let's go. Like, what can we do to get your spark? Like, where's your spark at? Like, what do we need to do? And so I don't come it as like a comrade, like an equal, like, hey, want to go hang out on the weekend? Want to go do homework together? It's like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh no. And I'm like, well, let's figure it out. Like, no. And it's rough because like, I wish so much for students to go to college and be like, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to do this. Like, I'm going to school for this. But it's really a lot of times, like, maybe it's maybe it's high school, maybe it's middle school, but there's none of this like navigating where it's like, hey, find your spark, find your inspiration, and then go to college for it. And that's what I hope changes. Maybe in the high school, maybe we need to start in high school, maybe we need to start in middle school, but like we need to teach them how to have a spark.
That's what I think. I think, for me, my personal journey, I feel like I was like hindered in high school from like starting my journey.
Yeah.
Mainly by wage laws, at age 14, I was ready to work, I was ready to get paid, mostly because I was hungry, literally and figuratively.
Yep.
And, if you're somebody in that situation, then you go get your job and they tell you can't work them more than 12 hours a week.
Right.
I wasted a lot of time in high school doing like useless stuff that I'm like, man, I wish I was worked, that's just my opinion. Maybe our wage
they
law.
worked me in high school, bro. I was worked.
What is a reason we can give incoming students to come to Cal Poly Humboldt?
I think the reason people would choose Cal Poly Humboldt School of Business is a multitude of reasons, but the main one being this, and this is from my personal standpoint, being a student myself, the ability to have, there's smaller classes here, like 30, maybe 50 plus. When I was going to school the first time, I was going to lecture halls of 500 students. Miserable.
I just realized,
Miserable.
I swear to God, I forgot about that concept.
500.
We're in such a small, tight-knit community that even 30 or 40 is a lot.
It's a lot.
500, yeah, you're just going in there. You're just another number.
We had a little clicker. So we would go in there and she would be like, so sorry, there's too many of you to raise your hands within this hour. So we're going to ask questions and you're going to give your answers with a ABCD clicker. And you had an ABCD clicker. So we had a little scan, like a little thing on the board. And we'd be like, okay, this is my answer. And she'd be like, okay, 50% of the class answered this way, 20%. And there was no individuality. Whereas here in Humboldt County, something that's super duper rich is I know my professors. I can raise my hand and give my personal point of view on a question, on a modality of the way we're thinking, on a business infrastructure, like whatever we're talking about. I can give my personal opinion and it be heard, and the professor will one-on-one be like, that actually really sucks. Or, hey, let's talk about this. Like, let's dive into this a little more. And they will. They'll be like, that doesn't actually work. Thank you. But like, let's move on. But most of the time it's like, hey, that's a really, really valid concept. Like, let's dig in a little more and have the time within a class of 30 to 50 students be like, okay, let's dive in more. There's a lot of community or like not community. Let me rephrase. Collaboration within the classroom, like
Yeah.
grouping.
There's a lot of one-on-one.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the biggest things I like about Cal
Yeah.
Poly. And also, some of the teachers could be your like major advisor.
They
you
really
know?
are.
Like I've had like 2 classes because my advisors were getting shifted because one of them took like a semester off, but they were both ended up being my advisors. So like after class, I could just walk right into their office and be like, "Yo, you were talking about this in class. We talked, but like, can you help me out with this?"
Absolutely.
You know, and they know and what you said and like how you could pick back up on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is sponsored by AAA Productions, a Humboldt County video production company helping businesses create strategic, professional video content. If you've been wanting to start making video to grow your socials but don't know where to begin, AAA Production offers consultation and customized production packages to help you build a sustainable content strategy. Use the links below to get started today. Thank you, and back to the show.
Would bringing in large companies and firms to hire out of the School of Business and Cal Poly Humboldt as a whole improve our program?
Ooh, steamer.
So I've talked a lot about this, and I'm having a really hard time with this one because I talked to a lot of locals about this.
So you're like,
I am a big supporter of innovation and forward movement. I do not like to hold to the past. I'm like, let it go. We're moving forward. As long as it is helpful to the local community, and if we take from the environment, we're also finding innovative ways to get back to the environment. Yes, people are going to hate me for this, I promise you. I think we need to grow here. I do. I think New York is on a downward spiral because they have no more infrastructure to build. They're just building upon building upon building, which is amazing and wonderful. We love New York. We love New York so much. San Francisco, the same thing. But Humboldt County is this beautiful, rich place. We don't want to like steal from what's here. But here's the problem. This is a hard thing.
it's a tough one because,
tough.
and
On
I
the
and I and I
spot,
outlined it with like, you know,
It's
while it steals talent, it brings in more competitive students, and so it's like this trade-off, right? I personally think we should be doing this. I think it's one of the biggest reasons why Cal Poly Humboldt struggles with enrollment compared to other schools in California, because other schools in California offer gateways and opportunities into high-paying jobs, which are at larger companies and firms. And so while that isn't the route for everybody, it certainly isn't the route for me. I think a lot of students are discouraged from coming to Cal Poly Humboldt, particularly high performers and competitors, because the school doesn't offer the same opportunity. So they go to Chico because Chico has ties and with, you know, firms and companies in Sacramento. And so, you know, students are, you know, they're like, Cal Poly Humboldt or Chico. Okay, Chico offers all these partnerships and programs with all these larger companies and firms. That looks really good. And then you come to Cal Poly Humboldt and you look into it and they're like, oh, well, they're not very well connected with, you know, larger firms and companies. So I ultimately do believe that. However, when I was in school expressing this, I got a lot of pushback. And so maybe I ultimately came to the realization that maybe I just think differently than everyone else. So
You don't. You are in a natural trajectory of thought process. If you want to have more companies, affluent companies, being available to the students that you're graduating, yes, you have to get bigger, and you have to get bigger, and you have to get bigger. Cal Poly is awesome because it's small and because we enrich this small little community. However, if they do want to grow, yeah, they got to get bigger and they got to get more involved in the bigger companies. And that means bringing more companies to Humboldt County. It means actually growing the actual economy here. Someone told me like a year, maybe 6 months ago, that the first skyscraper was going to get built here. Don't take my word for it. I haven't heard anything about it. There are no news articles about it, nothing. But if we're going to grow, or if you want to stay small, which I love the small feel, I feel like I'm being very, but yeah, if we want to become competitive and we want to be able to graduate students who can go work at big companies or at least mid companies, we have to scale and we have to get bigger. And that would mean a lot. It would mean hiring more professors. It would mean hiring a bigger wait, real quick. I want to touch base on this real quick. So next semester, they're actually going to embody a new curriculum where they're actually inviting AI courses.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
I don't know if I'm supposed to spiel that, but I'm hoping it's okay. Ramesh, I love you, but I hope that's okay.
Okay, get back to us on that because I'll cut this whole segment out. But I asked Dr. Keith Flamer about bringing AI courses into the curriculum, and they already are.
Yeah.
But Cal Poly, I haven't heard anything about that. But that could be huge.
Huge.
But the thing is about it is that AI is so rapidly changing. They would have to change their curriculum every month, or every semester would probably be too long because AI is changing way too fast right now.
What needs to happen is Cal Poly needs to speed up.
Yeah.
We really need to get some steam between our we need to
But the AI,
go.
the AI courses could be huge.
Huge.
Here's my question. This kind of relates to your book. How do we prevent?
Let's bring it back.
How do we prevent AI from making human connection and literature obsolete?
I don't know. This is the bane of my existence because, I read something sometimes and I'm like, did AI write that? I'm like, oh, gosh. I do. I scoff at it. However, it's totally a part of our society now. And this book took me a year and a half to write. And so what happens with me is I love AI. I think AI is great. I do. I think it's making things so much more, how do I want to phrase this? It's making life easier. And it's allowing me to be more creative and actually have more human connections. And if the time that I would be spending doing this, that, and this task, that, and this task that would take me 6 hours, okay, now we're at 2 hours. I can take a 6-chapter and condense it down, and I know exactly what I need to know. And that's just a vague example. AI is not going anywhere. However, we do need to change the way it's taking water. I'm going to advocate that. We do need to advocate for that. And I want to advocate for the fact that I do not think children under 18 that should be able to use it. I really don't.
That's a good one.
We really, kids need to learn to read words left to right. We need to be able to know how to do mathematics. We really advocation for 18 and above. That's all. We need to have hard, strict rules over that. That I will confirm with my whole being. But your question was, remind me your question.
How do we prevent AI from making human connection in literature obsolete?
I don't know. I'm scared for it. However, here's the thing. I hate reading off of a tablet. Honestly, I hate looking at a computer unless it's to do work and to get my thoughts across to another human. If I'm just reading for my own reasons, a professor gives me a textbook and they want me to read it online, I'm like, that sucks. I love, and I guess when it comes to maybe adult texture or textbooks, maybe, but kids, there's something so special about having a book. Remember when your parents were reading to you?
Yeah.
And you're sitting in the bed with them, you're snuggling up, and they're flipping through the pages. There's this humanistic aspect. So the only thing I wish for AI is it doesn't take away from the human connection. It confirms it, it propels it forward. That's what AI is supposed to do. It's not supposed to take away from the connection that we have between one another. It's supposed to eliminate the barriers between us, because with our modern day society, oh my God, how many people sit at their computer for 8 hours a day and never see a human? Never see a human.
8 hours plus, yeah.
So to condense all of that work and to make it to where that time has to have communication between actual humans, that's what I want to see AI do. Take away the things that are keeping us apart and bring us back together. Because you know what makes us really happy? Being around other people. However, don't get me wrong, we need our time alone, but we need time together. And I don't know, that's my hope for AM.
Let's get into some rapid fire rounds.
Oh no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Hit
so
me
for
with
this, it's going to be true or false, or you can skip. Feel free to skip if you'd like. However, they're going to be quick, just true, false, or skip.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. A bachelor's degree is the most efficient way to build a professional network in 2026.
Yes and no.
True or false?
True and false. Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, you
Sure,
are.
yeah.
But true for me, but true and false.
Physical books will become high-priced luxury items within the next 10 years.
I really hope false.
Motherhood provides better high-stakes management training than a business degree.
I mean, super true, but also like false because like there's other things. But yeah, for me, true.
Humboldt's local business scene is currently failing to attract student talent.
We're working on it. We're really working on it.
What's the state of it right now? True or false?
There's 1,355 students who are considering coming to the School of Business. So I can't answer that full-heartedly because they haven't confirmed or denied yet. You know what I mean?
Brand authenticity is a more valuable asset than a six-figure marketing budget.
True. Come on.
Alicia, thank you so much for joining us today.
Appreciate
We
you.
appreciate it.
Angie, what a pleasure. What a
Yeah,
pleasure. What a
yeah.
pleasure. What a
Let's
pleasure.
talk more
Yeah,
after.
we should.
All right.
Luke,
Let's do it.
Thank you.
I actually have some things I want to talk about off camera.
this was so fun.